All right, we're back. Benigno and Robertson, the midday, 877-337-6666 is the phone number. Have you brought it up? Not a pretty night for Luis Severino last night. He got rocked by the Rangers. They wind up losing the game 10-1. He has not. You see, after a very, very impressive rookie season, he has not been very good so far this year.
No, and it was stunning. It was like the Pineda game. He gets the first 2 outs in that third inning. There's 2 outs and nobody on. And then all of a sudden the implosion begins, including a little bit of control issue, the intentional walk to Prince Fielder. And then, sometimes when you issue an intentional walk, you just walk the next guy. And that's what he did to Ian Desmond, which forced in a run. So it went from what appeared to be an easy third inning to the end of his night. I mean, he got through the inning, but not before giving up 5 more runs, and effectively the Yankees were out of the game. And it's discouraging because he didn't pitch great in his first start. He didn't pitch great in his second start. They weren't out-and-out disasters, but they weren't great. In his last start, he was good. Like, he pitched an effective game against Oakland. It was a quality start. He only gave up 2 runs. He pitched 6 innings, and you figured, okay, this is something to build off. And then you get last night. Now, the Rangers have a very good offense, but last night was an out-and-out disaster when he just he couldn't get out of that third inning. It was bad.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, right now the Yankees, what are they, 8 up and 11 down? They're not hitting. They scored only 1 run last night. I mean, that's been an issue. Not hitting with runners in scoring position has been an issue, and they're not getting the starting pitching. And, that's a combination that is going to lead you to disaster. Now, I don't think that's going to be the case for this team going forward. And they're in a division, we talked about it yesterday, that there's no great team, and they're only a couple games out of first place. But right now, you got to be a little concerned what you're seeing from this baseball team. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, the pitching after Tanaka is just wildly inconsistent.
Very inconsistent.
You saw the good with Nady Eovaldi the other day. That was great. I mean, he
was terrific.
Yeah, he's flirting with a no-hitter. You're feeling great about it. But Luis Severino, who you looked at and pegged him as a guy who could step up and really break through this year, be a number 2 starter, and through 4 starts, he hasn't been very good. Now, I'm not ready to send him down. I don't think that's the answer. I think you've sometimes got to let young pitchers pitch through their struggles. So I don't think the answer is to say, all right, you're going to Scranton, Luis Severino. Now, that may happen. I mean, if he's sitting here, first week of June with an ERA near 7, it's obviously something the Yankees have to consider. But I would still give him at least a few more starts to see if he could pitch through this. I mean, it's tough against the Rangers. The Rangers have a very good lineup, so it's not like they got beat up by the Tampa Bay Ray offense. No offense to Tampa Bay. He got beat up by the Rangers. I mean, they have a very good lineup. Prince Fielder is bound to break through. He had a big hit. I think he drove in the first run in the first inning of this game. Yep. So they do have a good lineup. There's Nomar Mazara is like impossible to get out. He looks like the next superstar in Major League Baseball. But right now, the starting pitching is wildly inconsistent. We all know about the offense. I mean, Severino's bad outing makes us forget that they couldn't figure out A.J. Griffin last night.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, this has been an epidemic, it seems, for a while now. They're just not scoring runs, and look. You keep throwing Severino out there. I mentioned this before. Nobody's running away with the AL East. You don't have to panic. We're only 19 games into the season, whatever it is. But you do have to be a little concerned with what you're seeing right now between the inconsistent starting pitching and the certainly inconsistent offense that you're getting from the Yankees.
Toll-free number brought to you by Mohegan Sun, full of action, full of possibilities. More on the baseball with John Heyman coming up at 11:20. Right now, Andrew in Fresh Meadows. What's up, Andrew?
Andrew, how are you?
I'm doing well, guys. Before I talk about the Yankees, I am looking forward to tonight's Game 1 of the Lightning Islanders series.
Should be fun.
Should be good.
I'm glad they finally announced the entire schedule for this series, even though there's like tons of off days built in, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
So what do they play? They play Saturday after tonight, and then when's Game 3 after that?
I think it's Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, or Wednesday. Yeah,
wow.
I think it's Tuesday.
I'll go over the schedule after I'm done talking about my Yankee point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So, I agree with you guys. I especially agree with Evan's point. I want to be patient with Severino. I mean, if he's still inconsistent by June, I mean, that's when I would definitely consider sending him down to Scranton. And, as a fan right now, I'm not worried about anything. I mean, usually the Yankees get hot in June or July. I mean, I'm not worried right now, but I'm just going to give an example. If this team was not hitting, let's say by then I would be worried.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think in general, you don't want to look at what you've seen in the first month of the year and say, well, that's it. That's what the whole season's going to be. I mean, look at the team they played yesterday, the Texas Rangers. The Texas Rangers, if I'm not mistaken, at one point last year, were 53 and 58. 53 and 58. That is well past the halfway point. They're under 500. They won the division. I mean, the thing we've seen in baseball, and I'm not saying the Yankees could sit there being under 500 at the All-Star game, and I'd say don't panic, but there are so many examples of teams that don't play their best baseball in April, May, June, and turn it on at a later point. I think the Yankees have underachieved so far. I think that Luis Severino is going to pitch better than a 6.87 ERA. I just do. I think that Michael Pineda is a lot better than he's pitched, and I think the offense in general is a lot better than the way they've performed. So are they an 85-loss team, the Yankees? No. I think they're better than that. But this start is obviously discouraging.
It is. It is. It's a little discouraging. But again, it's early in the year, and you look at the standings and you say, okay, we got time to straighten things out.
Indeed. Now, here's the Islanders' schedule, because the first three games, after Game 3, it moves at a better pace where it's every other day. But Game 1 is tonight, okay?
Right. 7 o'clock tonight, NBC Sports Network, whatever.
There you go. So that's Wednesday. Tonight is Wednesday.
So you don't get Howie Rose and Butch Goring tonight, unfortunately.
No, you don't. You get the NBC Sports Network. Then their next game is on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock.
On regular NBC.
On regular NBC. So they get 2 days off between Game 1 and Game 2.
Okay.
The game after that would be May 3rd, which is Tuesday. So again, two days off.
Yeah. And that's the first game at I was going to say Nassau. That's the first game at Brooklyn.
That's Brooklyn. Tuesday night in the BK. Game 4, also in Brooklyn. Let's wait till Friday night.
Are you kidding me? So they get 2 days off basically every day till they play in the first 4 games.
Exactly. Then they hit the every other day pace, because Game 5 is May 8th, then Game 6 would be May 10th, and then Game 7 would be May 12th.
Right.
So it's arena issues. That's what it's got to be. I mean, I don't think it's squarely just a TV thing. I'm sure they're glad they have that primetime slot, that Saturday 3 o'clock face-off, but a lot of this is probably the arena availability for both down in Tampa and in Brooklyn.
Yeah, more than likely. But it'll be fun. I mean, look, it's the Islander fan has been starved for this for a long time. You got your team into the second round of playoffs, and I'm going to say it again. I mean, especially with the 2 guys that are out. So, Stroman and Stamkos are out, right now for Tampa. The one thing the Islanders have in this series, and I think it's going to be the difference in the series, is that number 91 is going to be the best player on the ice. And we saw that in the series against Florida. He carried them, no question. We saw that with Tavares in that series. Grice has played good enough, certainly better than good enough.
Oh, he's been great. And that's what I was going to get to. I think they need Grice to play on the same level he played in the first round.
Right. With Tavares doing his thing. And I think if that happens, I think the Islanders win the series.
Let's go to Danny in Merritt, Connecticut.
All right, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it very much. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. And I want to get one more point before I end the video. The May 8th game, Game 5, it's safe to assume if it's on a Sunday, it would likely be on NBC. Especially how Saturday, you're having a 3 o'clock game on NBC. So it would only make sense on May 8th to have an NBC game in the afternoon. Or unless somehow the NHL decides to push up the schedule, but either way, safe to assume it would be an NBC afternoon game on May 8th. And if you want to look at the full schedule yourself, it's on my social media pages at Andrew Sports Fan. And have a great day, everyone. And let's go Islanders.